Hi there, Maria here, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing a burgundy slash, I don't know what color, I guess this would be more of an antique gold on the lid, halo eye. So I don't know if I've ever done a halo eye on my channel. I've been kind of practicing them a little bit here and there, and I kind of, at first I'm like, oh no, that's not for me, but the more I've done it, the more I kind of enjoy the shape. Just kind of gives me more lid than I actually have somehow. I'm not quite sure, but it just, yeah, kind of makes the lids look a little bit bigger, a little bit rounder, a little bit something. But anyway, yeah, this is what I have, and so let's just get started. I'm gonna start today by using Urban Decay eyeshadow primer, just the original. I have a little sample here, so I thought I've been using it a little bit. And so that's what I'm gonna use today. So I'm gonna apply that all over the lid and then take just a tiny bit underneath my eye. I actually really like this base. I find that it's less liquidy than the NYX eyeshadow primer. And it's also less dry than using something like a soft ochre paint pot by MAC. So it's kind of like a nice in-between, and it still has enough color that it kind of, and it's a light enough color that it works really well for me. And today for my eyeshadows, I'm going to use the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. So that is what it looks like. And I'm going to start by going into this caramely shade right there. And we're going to just apply this in the crease all the way in because we're doing a halo eye today. I'm just going to take it kind of all over the crease right down to the lid. Okay, then I'm going to take this next shadow right here, and it's just kind of a shade darker than the one I just used. I'm going to place that just kind of underneath that. Just kind of bring it down onto the lid a little bit too. And I'm going to kind of be leaving this part open, but when I bring these shadows down, I'm going to kind of sweep it into there and sweep it into the corner. I'm going to take a smaller fluffy brush, and I'm just going to go into the darkest kind of caramel shade, which is right there. And just apply that in the deepest part of my crease. I'm just going to take a fluffy brush. I can't find my Morphe M200, which is super depressing. So I'm just going to use this one. It's not near as wonderful, and just kind of blow these shadows out a bit. Okay, now I like to, when I'm doing a halo eye, I have a really hard time keeping the middle empty. So I like to just kind of mark where I want to put that, and you want it in the center of your eye. So kind of where the pupil is, that's where you're gonna have your center color. So I just kind of mark it and then go on either side of that with the white or just a lighter shade just to begin with. And basically your light shade is going to go in the area that kind of lines up with your iris. And I do this so that I know where exactly I can put that dark color, because otherwise, inevitably, I overextend it. So it doesn't have to be precise. I then just kind of blend it out with my finger a bit. Just like so. I'm going to pull you in a little bit closer. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting this dark burgundy shade. That's going to be the majority of the halo eye on either side. And so I'm using a very tiny little detail brush just so that I can control where I put that color. Especially when you have hooded lids, it's good to use a teeny brush like this because, oops, I put that in the dark brown. Because then you can just kind of get it in where you need it. And I got that a little further than what I want. So I'm just gonna reapply this white stuff, just like that. Okay, so that's what I have so far. Practically looks like a Canadian flag. Okay, now I'm gonna take this shade and I'm just gonna run it just up a little bit into my crease. Trying not to get too high with it. Okay, so that's the base. Now I'm going to go in with this kind of, it's a burgundy brown shade right there. And it's just shimmery, that's why I'm using it. And when you do this, to keep this white, instead of flicking the shadow this way, you want to just kind of tap it on, but be starting here and working towards the inner corner when you're doing a dark eye like this. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Looks pretty crazy. Now I'm just gonna take a little blending brush here and just blend that dark shade in the crease, just kind of blend it out a bit. Okay, now I'm gonna take a flat concealer brush and I'm going to go into this shade right here and I'm gonna pack that on the center. Okay, then I'm gonna go back in with this little tiny brush. Gonna go back into that kind of purpley metallic color, and I'm just gonna feather the lines and just kind of blend the two shades together. Okay, so that's what I have so far. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do the lower lash line. I'm gonna go back into that reddish burgundy color and I'm gonna place that. I'm gonna mirror exactly what I've got going on top, on the bottom. And then to just blend that bottom lash line out, I'm gonna go into the lightest shade that I started with, this kind of light caramely shade, and just run that kind of underneath those two shades, just to kind of blend them together. Now I'm just gonna kind of give it all a quick blend just to make sure there's no harsh edges. So now to just kind of bring a little bit of extra attention and light to this, I'm going to use my Physician Formula, the shimmer strips or whatever they're called. It's in the sparkly container. There's a few different ones you can get now. This is the original one that I have. And I am going to go into this shade right here. And just place that right on the center. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my Rimmel Exaggerate. I'm just gonna tight line and do the lower lash line with this. Okay, so as you can see, like it looks fairly dark, like I've got a dark amount of black, so it looks like the eye's lined. But if you'll notice on the eye, you're not seeing like a major dark line that's drawn across. And the way you get that is by tight lining. So doing this inner skin here, the inner lash area, and then instead of drawing above your eyelashes, you draw in your eyelashes. So you just kind of run the pencil just in the lash line. And that's what gives you a nice clean looking line. It makes your eyelashes look thick. It doesn't use up your lid space with black, and so then it shows off your eyeshadow a lot better. So it just kind of makes your eyes look bigger, but it still frames the eyes. So yeah, just a little tip. So I'm going to curl my lashes, and today I'm going to use the Lancome Definicils. I have a sample. It's as far as mascara is concerned, it's actually one of my favorite. I have always liked Definicils, but I don't like the full tubes. So if you get a big tube, I find that it runs out really fast, and I'm not crazy about that. But these little minis, they're fabulous. The other thing I like about this mascara is it has a teeny weeny wand, which I love. So the lashes that I'm trying today are from a company called True Fiction, and it's a Canadian company. The only place that I've seen them is at Save on Foods. But yeah, I was intrigued because they had lashes and brushes and different stuff like that, and the price was pretty affordable. They were $7.99. So I thought, why not give them a go, see if they work. There's nothing better than using Canadian products, being I'm a Canadian, woo! So I tried that lash and I hated it. It just looked spidery and crazy and went up to my eyebrow, which just not into. So we're back to my Kiss Me's. I don't know if I'll ever find a lash that I actually like beyond these Kiss Me's, although I am going to try. There's a few different ones that were fluttery looking, that were double lashes, and I might give those a go, but these are definitely not for me. And I'm gonna do my eyebrows with Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in dark brown. And I'm gonna do that off camera because I've done it enough on camera. And also I did my lower lash line in mascara. So now I'm going to contour my cheeks using the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. And I'm gonna contour using my Omega Shadow by MAC. And then I'm going to use, MAC shadows now are in Canada for just the pan, not getting the container that it goes in. But if you just buy the single pan eyeshadow that's without a container, they're $8, which is an awesome price. They're $6 in the States, which is comparable to Makeup Geek and all those different places. So I've been wanting to get MAC Nylon for a while because I hear that's more of a BAM highlight. And I think it is. So I'm gonna use that on my cheeks. I'm gonna take it on just the tip of my nose, Cupid's bow, chin, and forehead. To finish off my eye look, I'm gonna use this L'Oreal shadow in, I think it's in the number 200. And this one works way better with your finger. And it's just the best cream color, like it's so bright. Then I'm gonna just use a fluffy brush and just kind of blend that into the other shadows. And then for my inner corner highlight, I'm gonna go in with the MAC Nylon. Then I'm gonna go in with this Makeup Forever blush in, I think it's in 02. It's kind of worn off a bit. Then I'm gonna take this dual-ended brush and just kind of blend the highlighter, blush, and bronzer. Just blush, just kind of blend everything together on the cheeks. And you still see a bit of a glow, mainly on my apples. I want my highlighter to look fairly natural. So if you do your highlighter, and don't go too hardcore, and then put your blush on, and then it peeks underneath, which to me looks way more natural, rather than setting it on top. And that way you don't have some shimmery blush or whatever. I think it's easier to blend. So doing kind of like your highlight, bronzer, and contour first, and then putting the blush on, I think it works better. Sometimes after I get it on then, I might go in with a fan brush, let's say, and add a little bit more highlight if I want a little bit more glow to the cheeks. Okay, and today doing the usual MAC Stone lip liner, and then I'm going to go in with Bite Beauty in Cava. It's that shade and I absolutely love it. And then I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever Artist Plexi Gloss and 202. And I think it's just basically clear. So now I'm gonna fluff up my hair and then I will be right back. So this is what I have for you. This is the eyes. That's what they look like. These are the cheeks, this is the face. Yeah, this is final look. So the thing that you could do, if you do dark eyeliner all the way around and do it in your waterline and kind of in the lash line, it does close your eye off a bit. So if you're concerned about that, another option would be to do just a thin layer of liner, like a dark liquid liner. You can do a wing or not. And then to go with either a nude or a white in your waterline, and that'll open up your eye a little bit more. The cool thing about doing a look like this, especially if you don't have hooded lids, a look like this would really make your eyelids look big. But I don't know if you can notice, but it definitely makes me look like I have more lid than I do. So that's the kind of fun thing about doing a halo, is you get that kind of rounder eyed look. Which is kind of fun. It's a different change. You know, there's so many different options with makeup. So instead of getting more of the doe-eyed look, I guess, yeah, to me doe-eyed is more like elongated and wide and kind of coming up like this. Or a cat eye would be another way. This is a more round look, which is just another way to do your makeup. Yeah. So anyway, this is what I have. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to like, subscribe, and share. I always appreciate that. And I hope that you guys have an absolutely amazing week. We'll talk to you soon.